Alright everybody, Namjao's back, and today I got a different type of video for my channel that always been wanting to do this week, and that is my predictions for E3 and Summer Game Fest of June and July. Now there isn't that much stuff that I really have to ask for this year, because I have always had my expectations low from all the other shows and events that happened since 2019 and 2020. So I really don't really think there should be too much games coming out this year or next year. But here's my things I feel like should or deserve to be announced at E3 this year. And the first game I actually had a thought in mind was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 Remake. And this one, there's actually a reason why I actually want this game to be announced. This game has been leaked before, and this has been name dropped before by one of the drummers of CKY, Jess Margera, who did like the soundtrack for Pro Skater 3 back in 2001. And also, this game's also turning 20 years old this year as well. Since last year, like Pro Skater 2 turned 10 years old. Last year, like 20, I mean, sorry. And releasing this game as DLC for Pro Skater 1 and 2 would make total sense and would be very healthy for the game. And that's why I hope we see an announcement at the Summer Games Fest or E3. Another game I feel like that should come out for E3 as a world premiere is Saints Row 5. Saints Row 5 is actually currently in development and has been officially been announced by Volition, but we have no gameplay nor any footage about the game or when it's going to come out, or nor any update stats on the game yet. So showing it off at Xbox's E3 season, E3 showcase, whatever, and having that game be announced as a world premiere, whatever, with a release date announcement and gameplay reveal would be pretty cool, neat, and pretty neat update stats on the game. And I have low expectations for Saints Row 5 as well, because I didn't really like 4 that much as a Saints Row game. But 2 and 3 were pretty great for what they were, especially 2. I really love Saints Row 2 so much, it's unbelievable. I would be down to see Saints Row 5 go back to the same routing route as Saints Row 1 and 2. Just because like the gameplay and customization is much more better than all the GTA games that were ever released in my personal opinion. But if Volition really wants to go back to that superhero routing and double down on that, I'll be okay. As long as the map, the activities, and customization is still great as all the other Saints Row games, I'm definitely getting it day one. And two games that I'm actually expecting at Xbox's E3 showcase, and that is like Halo Master Chief Collection Season 7 and Halo Infinite. Like for Master Chief Collection for PC and Season 7 of that, we're gonna see like a release date of Season 7 and when we should expect that game and that season to come out for both Xbox and PC. I've been playing Halo Master Chief Collection on PC for a while now. Like I just got back to the Slayer mode in that game, especially with Halo Combat Involved, which go check videos on that on my YouTube channel. They should be around in my channel somewhere. You just have to go find them and give them a shot. They're worth the watch. And I'm also hopeful that Halo Infinite will be a lot more better looking for the Xbox Series than we saw last year. I think last year at Xbox's own showcase for the Series X, it didn't really look that good and that promising to help boot up the next gen hardware. And you can tell by the memes of that game that 433 really did drop the ball in terms of gameplay revealing. And that's kind of like unhealthy for the game. So they pretty much had to go back, delay it down to like 2021 or 2022, just to make sure the game is more polished, more beautiful, and make sure the less bugs the game will have. So I gotta give 433 props for that, for like taking a look at it and just listening to the feedback, the criticism they received, and going back to finishing the game and make sure the game is more polished is a smart move on their part. I'm looking forward to seeing how the final game looks like at launch. And speaking of Xbox, another Xbox game I'm expecting to show up there is Starfield, and I feel like that game will be exclusive to both Xbox and PC. I mean, if you really think about it, Xbox did acquire Bethesda for over $7 million or 7 billion, whatever. So meaning they have every way to make their games exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem if they really want to. And I also feel like all the other studios owned by Bethesda will have some unannounced games to be shown over there that will be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem as well. And I've also been hearing from reliable sources that Starfield will be a late 2022 game instead of like a 2021 game as we all thought. Which is not that big of an issue if you really think about it. because I'd rather have Bethesda make a game that isn't rushed and will take their time on it. And I really hope Xbox makes sure that they will take their time with Starfield. Which doesn't matter if it bombs or not, because all the modders for PC will fix the game with the mods they ever make and all that stuff. So it's not really a big loss regardless. Another topic I want to talk about for E3 and Summer Games Fest, and that is like the rumored Nintendo Switch Pro that has been heavily rumored by a lot of big name sources. And there has been reports going on saying that they were feeling for the Switch Pro will be before E3, and the next Nintendo Direct during E3 season will showcase all the games that will run exclusively for the Switch Pro. I think a Nintendo Switch Pro is actually pretty good for this gen, because we will be getting more games that cannot run on the original Switch hardware and can only run on PS5 and Nintendo Xbox Series. So Nintendo making like an upgrade version of the Switch that can exclusively run games that are exclusive to the Pro version seems like a very reasonable thing to do. Because like they made like when they made like the 3DS, they were also making games that were exclusively for the new 3DS and cannot work on the original version of the 3DS. So Nintendo making games that can be exclusive for the Switch Pro doesn't seem like an out of place thing. And another thing I want to talk about during E3 season and Summer Games Fest is Sony. We all know Sony won't be at E3 at all, and they might have a presence at Summer Games Fest, but we don't know if they're gonna have like this big state of play as last year, that showcases all the games that are coming out for PS5 hardware. And to be honest with you, I'm not expecting too much from Sony, since I feel like they'll probably be too busy to show off any new games, and all the games they might show aren't ready yet to be shown yet. If they end up making like a state of play that showcases some more PS5 games in development and letting all the other third parties like let their games shine for the PS5 hardware, then I will show up to that stream day one. And that is pretty much all I have to say about my predictions on D3. I'm not expecting too much, but I'm not expecting something that's super boring either. But if any of you guys have any predictions and expectations for E3, be sure to comment it down below, and I'll see what my honest opinion about those are. So if you like what you saw, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see y'all in the next vid. Bye.